What's going on, everyone? This is Sheets, and I'm going to be going over the MLB slate for this evening. We're live on a couple of more streams today, so appreciate the support. And again, it's a decent time for me to do it today, so we did add a couple of more streams. Uh, First of all, for those who are asking, the King of the Baseline final, as far as tennis goes, not really going that great. Now, in fairness, it's kind of tough for everybody. It's been some tough going today. Been a couple of guys or girls have smashed, but very few. So it's going to be very tough to put a good score up. So I got that going for me, but maybe I'll be able to move up the ladder in a couple, maybe one or two of my entries. But overall, just not a very good showing. So let's talk about baseball tonight, and you'll see that I have my projections up here, and I don't share them all too often. And I want to go over who looks good from a projection perspective and who are kind of the weird bits of variance that maybe you can look beyond the projections to get a handle on. So you have Framber Valdez and Sonny Gray, who, from a projection perspective, look to be the best. They also are carrying a significant amount of ownership as well, as you see in column I up there. I have 40% projected ownership for Valdez and 31% for Gray. And, so it's pretty efficient, given their projection, given their ownership. I mean, that's really where they should be. Now, Valdez has some he sucks recently, Vig, meaning that he just really hasn't been doing well. And when that happens, I usually have, I don't want to say a speech, but I caution people to not be too forgiving. What a lot of people do is they throw out the last two or three starts because of their long-term history, and that can be somewhat dangerous if there's been something structural that has changed. In other words, he's coming off an injury, just something has happened that would make us not want to consider his last year or two worth of data as opposed to this year. I would say that people are being over forgiving for those types of things. And it goes the other way too. If someone has two or three really good performances out of nowhere, it depends on how they came about. If they were coming off the injury list, if they came off a trade or something that would give a reason why they would, completely change their profile, I'll kind of allow that. But I don't really think there's much to this Valdez thing. I just think it's just part of baseball variance. And given his matchup, home against the Rockies, I'm going to give him a break. I mean, quite honestly. Sonny Gray, he's never really been my friend for DFS purposes. I've never really gotten that ceiling performance out of him when I needed it. But compared to the rest of these pitchers, I mean, it's kind of rough going. Like Eric Lauer has the benefit of, I think, facing 5 or 6 lefties from Minnesota, maybe. Aside from that, I mean, there's all kinds of no upside here. The one guy, well, two guys, I guess we could talk about. One is the guy from the Mets, the Nolan McLean. He came off, I don't know, with his first start, second or third start, whatever. He's a prospect with a lot of upside. So he's 9K with a very meager projection. But he certainly has that kind of prospect upside to him. His matchup is no good, but on a slate where there isn't a lot of pitching, I can see why people would play him. I actually have this theory that he's going to be actually more popular than my 10% ownership dictates. So I might actually bump him up in the ownership projection for the purposes of building my lineups. The other guy we could talk about is Ohtani. I mean, Ohtani obviously has an incredible amount of upside if we knew that his pitch count was going to be up there. Now, you could get ahead of it and say, you know what, this is the day that they let him have 90-plus pitches. Some people will do that. Some people wait to see. I do think that on a slate like this, when there's not a lot of pitching, I think you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. So I think guys like Ohtani, Lauer, Berger for Kansas City, I think he's got decent upside too. And I guess McLean would be the ones I would want to play. But I mean, I messed around with this, and I think that I'm just going to let Saberson kind of do its thing. I'm kind of happy with the projections here, and I'm not going to bump up the McLean. I'm not going to bump down Valdez or anybody like that. I think I'm just going to let him fly. The only guy, again, I don't know why I want to give this guy a little bump just because of this slate is the Burger. I think that he's got some possibilities. So if I get to him, that's great. I might actually, if I get a lineup with Ryan Nelson in it or something, maybe I'll switch it to, well, what's his price? 70. This guy I'm inventing, the Burger, 7,200. What's his ownership? What do I have him here? 13. So it's not like he's even going to be unpopular. I don't know. But those would be the guys. Valdez and Gray, the kind of the moto plays. Ohtani's got pitch count dilemmas, but he's fine. Lauer, it's not that great, but he's got a good matchup with the lefties, so he looks good. McLean, I don't know what to do with him, honestly. He's 9K. It's not like he's 7,400 or anything like that. So we're going to see. The other thing that you'll see before we start building anything is you got this Jock Peterson 2,400 deal again. He's just pretty much any hitter is too cheap at 2,400, honestly, on DraftKings hitting near the middle of the lineup. But he actually obviously has home run upside and things like that. What else can we glean here before we build? Well, not much from an individual player perspective, but maybe from a stack perspective, we could at least get a sense of what would look good. Before we do that, let me just get a quick look to see what happened in the. Oh, so looks like Cameron Norrie did in fact get the win. So that's actually good news. For my lineups. Again, I'm not going to really win much, but maybe I can move up the ladder a little bit. And let's see in the women's side what happened in the second set over there. Yeah, it looks as though Valentova is up 5-3 on Rybakina, but down 0-40 on serve. Taylor Townsend, I have her. She's doing a good job against Ostapenko. But again, we're not really competing for the win. We're just competing for pay jumps, which is certainly nothing embarrassing about that. So as far as stacks go, this is the way I have it ranked. On the right side, you'll see this modified stack column, which is kind of what I rely on to, like for hand building and things like that. What I'm looking for, number one, is the best scorer, and I have Texas as the best scorer. Okay, I don't want to get into how this is all calculated or whatever. Actually, let's resort it. Yeah, so Texas is the best scorer. But it's also a kind of a function of ownership here. So I have them as the best scorer, but also the highest owned. And then you have this drop down to these three, like Toronto, Chicago, and Kansas City. And you don't get much of a break as far as Toronto goes, but you do get a little bit of an ownership break with the Cubs or the Royals. So I think that these would be two of them. And then the other one, if you had it in you, like Minnesota looks, very, very low owned given their value. Against the aforementioned Lauer. So I think Minnesota looks like a good contrarian play. Cubs, KC, these three to go with the obvious Texas play. So I think Toronto would probably be my fade for the reasons I mentioned. And again, I tried to, you could do hand building stuff. So, just for fun, you want to do that? You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's pull up a. Again, just to see. Like if we wanted to play, say, Valdez and Gray, not Valdez and Gray, we certainly wouldn't want to play Texas, right? Because that'd be way too chalky. So what would Cubs? They don't even have a lineup in yet. Maybe KC, their lineup in yet? Yeah, at least KC has their lineup in. So let's see who I would take if I were taking KC. Ray, I don't know. He's just, again, a low upside dude who going to show up in 150, but I wouldn't prioritize him at all. So if I was going to play the KC guys, let's just put them all in. So Witt, Massey, Yaz, Pasquantino, Perez. So let's put them in there. Witt, Pasquantino, Perez, Yaz, and who else? Who was the last guy I said? So Witt, Pasquantino, Perez, Yaz, and who did I say? Massey. Okay, so let's put him in. Let's just see what we can get. With him at 2K, I mean, sure. I mean, you could do this pretty easily, and then just play your favorite 3,400s, some of these other teams. So, like, for example, now you can go, say, to Texas and play Jacques Peterson, you know, and then you're off to the races. Who would be third base here? Jung, and then spend like really whatever you want. So you can hand build and get to Gray and Valdez really easily if you wanted to. When it came to single entry, like you're asking YSN, I mean, based on my projections and stuff, again, I still wouldn't go with the straight Texas with those two stacks, with those two pitchers, but they're certainly the best, most likely to score the most runs and most fantasy points from a value perspective, at least. Most likely to exceed there or to put up a good combination of value and upside and raw points. I guess that's the best way to describe it. And then we'll build in a second, but let's take a look at FanDuel. Let's see if there's any real difference here. Valdez, Gray, and then literally nothing else. So we'll see what we actually get to. As far as stacks over on FanDuel, again, we'll sort by modified and who we're going to get. Toronto at the top, then Detroit. Okay. So Detroit and Houston next, but you're getting no breaks as far as ownership goes over here either. So we want to look to see where the first ownership break. Athletics, maybe? So it's a tough slate. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a tough slate to hand build. And as a result, I'm probably just going to let Saberson just kind of do its thing here. Everybody wants to know single entry, Corey, also. I guess, again, the usual answer is, well, it depends what Saberson gives me given my inputs, but I guess it would have to be the Cubs? Maybe? Cubs or KC? I guess the Cubs. I didn't put them in because I don't have their lineups in yet, but yeah, why not? Sure. All right, so let's build with Sabersim and see what our process is and then what we're getting. Let me go back to the U.S. Open for a second here. So we have Valentova did in fact give up the break, so she's down 6-3, 5-5. Townsend is about to be 3-1 in the second. We'll take a look at U.S. Open men's. Mensik is in a battle with Ugo Blanchett. Dardieri won his first set 6-0, but is 5-5 in the second. Cameron Norrie won. I mean, we'll take a look real quick at where we are there. And I don't even know what's good. I mean, we'll take a look at this one. I mean, none of these are great, but see, Nagashima and Giron already lost, and then Norrie with kind of a low output win. Dardieri could put up a decent score here, but then we're going to need Mariano, Marino, and Bensick. So I don't even know which is the best lineups. We'll take a look at, I don't know, we'll take a look at this one. Or is that this one already? See, this one's got the most points already, but this has 2 losses also. Shaka, Spritz, Dardieri could put one up, and then Thompson. Now the good news, again, is nobody really has a great score here, but Townsend looks like she's kind of moving, so this guy's going to put up a number, but not really. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what people actually put up here, and then we'll see what I have to shoot at. Okay, DraftKings. Let's first put up our let's click here, and this we're using SaberSim. And I'll just go through exactly what I do. So the first thing you have to do is you have to pick your favorite projections. So I am going to pick my projections, and I'm going to manually upload them in here. But you could use the SaberSim ones or whatever ones you want. What are these 97? Why am I missing these 97 players? These are, oh, okay, because they're not playing. Okay. Save these. We'll click this. And now the next question I want to ask is, wait, I must have uploaded the FanDuel ones by mistake. See what I did? Yep, I knew something was wrong there. Aha. Sneaky. All right, so my ownership's in, my projections are in. Settings. What do I want to do as far as stacks go? Do I want to allow, bow wow stacks, I like to call them? I think not. I'm going to go 5 3s, 5 2s, 5s, and I am going to play the 4 4s. I always like that. And with respect to salaries, well, 49,000 is going to work just fine for me. And that is going to be it, with the exception of late swapping. Now, there's actually more exceptions because, remember, I don't have the Cubs lineup in yet. I don't have the Dodgers lineup in yet. I don't even have the Astros lineup in yet. So I am going to have to double check this after lock to probably even before lock to see if I can get the Houston lineups in because I might have to rerun everything. But certainly, it's a tough slate because you don't want to wait too long to late swap. Maybe if I could find time at 8:20 after these ownerships come in, I'll do one more set of projections with all these guys in because all these games are very live. Detroit Athletics very live, Chicago, San Francisco very live. So we're going to build with the lineups that we have, but certainly is going to have the opportunity to fiddle around with that. I probably should have checked the weather, no? Maybe that would have been smart. So let's go to our friend Roto Grinders here. Best weather guy in the business. I'm sure he won't mind if I show this. Wind blowing out Yankee Stadium, wind blowing left to right, and no other issues across the whole slate, which is good. All right, so we're building out of the 20,000 lineups. It's simming them all against the contests that we're playing. Now you'll see, I'm only playing 23 lineups today for technical reasons, actually. I would play more, but I've had some funding issues, let's put it that way. So this is really all I can play. So we're playing the 888. We're playing some entries in the lottery. We're playing the ball 4. And you see that it's now simming these 20,000 lineups against the various, contest fields that SaberSim has predicted will represent these contests. And then us being in this portfolio diversification mode, it will then allocate our resources in a purportedly an efficient way, whatever that means. Whatever that means to SaberSim. Again, I don't have the code, but I trust these guys that they know what they're doing as far as this goes. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's still not going yet, but we'll just give it a break and we'll wait as we watch Mensick in his 5th set. Not exactly what you expect of a 9K guy to have to battle in the 5th set, which is why I'm not going to win the 50,000, by the way. But again, if I can squeeze like 22,000 out of a couple of these lineups, that would be very, very, very fun. That would be fine, honestly. Okay, so here we go. And then we are going to save these all to my contests and just hit literally save all. And I really don't want to look at who I have, to be quite honest with you, because that's really just not the point, right? I'm not doing it because I'm being a pain in the ass. I just really don't care. All right. Let me take a quick look. I do see that there's a lot of Valdez and Sonny Gray. I'm noticing, Cortez is out. So we have something, right? So Cortez from the A's. So we have an A's lineup in. Is that the case? All right. Well, that's interesting. So maybe we can do something different. How do they know that Cortez is out? Let's see. Well, DraftKings knows, but let's see. Let's see if Saberson has picked up on it yet. I don't think so. No, not yet, but we'll get there. So we are going to have to deal with Cortez. All right. Mensick and Blanchette are tied 2-2. Dardieri down 5-6, but on serve. And then Women's U.S. Open, Rybakina is down 5-6, but on serve, and now going to a tiebreaker. So this is for the cheese. Oh, Taylor Townsend is 5-0. That's big. I mean, you get any whatchamacallit, any bonus like a clean sheet on a slate like this, which is not very high scoring, that'd be really, really appreciated. So let's see. What is Thompson? Yeah, but this is the one that's not doing too well, right? Yeah, but I don't know. You know, he has 2 losses, but if you get Thompson, this is the other Thompson. Oops. Townsend, I mean. Townsend, this actually is not bad. This is the only lineup I have that could actually go 6 for 6. Mensick could get this win somehow. And then Rybakina could get this win in straights. Bonzi with a nice low-owned win. And then Townsend, if she can pull this off and win 6-0, that would be a nice score. This would actually be, I wouldn't say a real sweat, but it'd be actually an idea of a sweat. So we'll keep an eye on that as we build our FanDuel lineups. Okay, 1-0 Rybakina. And, oh, no, Ostapenko is up 40-30 on Townsend. So it looks like the clean sheet is not going to happen. We'll keep an eye on it, though. All right, so FanDuel. Let's so the A's, they do have an A's lineup in. So we'll go back and we'll redo FanDuel. I mean, DraftKings in a second. So let's first put the FanDuel ones in here, and then let's go to Oakland or the Athletics, and let's make sure that we get rid of that which we don't have, like Cortez, Jacob Williams, like all these, Jacob Wilson, all these guys are out. So now we fix that, and now we can go ahead and build. So what are we going to do as far as stack exposure? Stack exposure, we're just going to go 4 4s and 4 3s, I believe. Now we can do 4 2 2s on this slate. 34,000 is good, 20,000 is good, and let's just fire. Valentova is now up 2-1 on serve, so she's got the mini break. Townsend did, in fact, lose that game to Ostapenko, so she's up 5-1 and serving for the match. Blanchette is 40 all. It's deuce against with Mensick at 2-2 in the 5th. Dardieri is his ad going at 5-6. And then, as this is going, should we do the DraftKings 2? NFL, F the NFL. I mean, honestly, F football, F the NFL, F all of it. F all these showdown slates that they're all going to be $1 million for first. How about that? I bet you they're like all $1 million for first all year. Maybe not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like every showdown slate, $1 million maker. How about that? I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I would not be surprised. Or at least a whole bunch of them. And 400 million people in all of them. And you'll have lineups that have guys you've literally never heard of that project for 0 snaps, and you'll have like 40 dupes with these guys because everybody's getting sharp. But we're up for the challenge. Okay, we're almost done with FanDuel as I look again. So Blanchette's about to hold. Dardieri is up 1-0. going to the tiebreaker over there. You have Rybakina down 2-4 in the tiebreaker to Valentova, and it looks as though what's her name won. I think Ostapenko lost 6-1 in that set. So we'll wait to see if that updates and see if that helps us. I mean, it doesn't hurt us. Okay, here comes FanDuel. I'm not playing the monster today. I'm playing 5 in the Grand Slam, 60 in the squeeze, and 150 in that rally, that $10. Now it's 4-3 Valentova. And then it's 1-0 Dardieri with the mini break in set 2. So again, after we finish this with FanDuel, we'll I'll go back and redo DraftKings with the Oakland lineup. Again, there are 2 guys that we projected in that are not in, and that's going to affect the rest of the slate. So, yeah, Dardieri still up 1-0. It doesn't look like these things update so quickly right now. So let's just go back and forth. Valentova up 5-3 on serve. I mean, with the mini break. Let's go back to the men's. Blanchette's his ad. Okay, so it's 3-2. Mensik they're on serve there. Still have Dardieri only up 1-0 because they're lagging, I think. But we'll see. All right, just for I'll show you guys what we're doing in FanDuel. I mean, why not? Let's team stacks. Houston top stack. Pitching wise, looks as though Valdez and then Sonny Gray. Again, nothing particularly earth-shattering over there. Yeah, this Dardieri thing is still not updating. Now what is she doing? Let's see. Wait, first let's upload this. And then we'll go back and do FanDuel. Mensik down 2-3. Dardieri is still, now it's 1-1. Longest point in history. Is that the story? All right, so FanDuel looks good. Now let's go back and redo DraftKings. Even though, again, that game doesn't start for a while, it's going to impact the rest of the slate, so we have to redo it. All right, women's Valentina 6-5 with a set point. Big point for the DFS contest, I think, because these straight set wins have been very, very slow to come by. So if somehow Rybakina can come back in this tiebreaker, that would be particularly good for those lineups. All right, so let's go back into Oakland here. And we'll take out Wilson and we'll take out Cortez, and then we'll just do the same thing, right? Stack exposure. Ooh, 6-6. Rybakina fought off the set point. Big. See what happens. $20,000, $49,000. Good. So 6-6. Rybakina and Teresa Valentova changing sides. We'll see what happens over there. And we'll come back into U.S. Open men's. Mensik probably on 30 love up, down 2-3. Dardieri up 3-1 in the tiebreaker. Now it's 3-2, but he's got the mini break. But this Teresa Valentova tiebreaker is for the match if she loses it. So this is some leverage here. Let's see. And DraftKings has been very, very slow with the updates over there. Okay. So Rybakina is down 6-7 and on serve. Go back to that. Mensik's about to win. Dardieri's up 4-2 on the changeover. So let's just take a look here. Rybakina. I'm not watching it live. I'm just literally watching the DraftKings, the sportsbook update. Uh-oh, that's not good. I bet you she just lost the set because the money line just dropped. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to drop like, no, 7-7. 7-7 in the tiebreak. Here we go. It's kind of a weird way to sweat, isn't it? So let's see. 7-7. And she's serving. So they're just on serve. 7-7 on serve. All right, 8-7 Rybakina. This is match point. But Teresa is serving. We'll take a look as my DraftKings lineups build. We'll get back to Dardieri in a minute, but let's just watch. Again, this is like such a weird sweat when you sweat tennis because you know the sports book's ahead of it. So you want the most updated info, but you do want to watch it live too. Let's see. 8-7, let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm just kind of looking. There it is, game over. So Rybakina won 7-6. That puts her win in straights, which is good for at least one of my lineups. Dardieri's up 5-2 in the second set. We're going to go back, and we'll take a look at the lineups here just for the hell of it. Again, it's kind of tough to win with the 2 losses, which is what I have in most of my lineups. All right, let's take a look. Save all for DraftKings and download, and then we'll put them up, and then we will see. And then we should be good to go. Blanchetta's 3-0 is they're on serve there. That's going to be a sort of a big swing, but again, a 5-set win versus loss is not that big of a deal. And obviously, you prefer to win, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so that's good. Let's take a look and see if anything got upgraded a little bit. Let's take a look at the Rybakina lineup, I guess. Is this the Rybakina lineup? Let's see. Well, this is Dardieri. She's up 6-3, and I guess this is. Oh, he's up 6-3. This is just the second set, which is in a way good. So that's that one. Where was the Rybakina lineup? Let's see what that looks like. Again, I don't think any of these really can go 6 for 6. Actually, she only got 65 points, Rybakina. Well, that's annoying. Townsend with the 83, though. That was big. So Rybakina didn't 2 double faults, 13. Yeah, this is not a very high score at all, huh? No, but you know what? They didn't give it a match win yet. How do you think about that? Yes, they owe me some points here. So Rybakina is going to be owed some points. Mensik, I mean, he really is going to need this win. I mean, oh my God, Townsend was 30% owned. This is so annoying. So if I can get a win out of Mensik somehow, look what I'm begging for at 10K. It's like ridiculous. This is a tough day. How's CK doing? I mean, he's the nuts, right? I mean, he's only got 1 loss. So that's good for him. Rybakina, yeah, did get an extra point. So 71. So this one it's got another one left. I mean, I could get over. I mean, if Rune wins, I can get 320. Could be okay on this slate, honestly. But if because this Darty, this is the best lineup, I think. Even though it's got the 17. Because if Dardier can let's say that he gets 20 here, 20 more here, and gets 82. So it's 20 more to put it 287. Then I can get a big score out of Thompson at 12%. I guess that's possible. This one here, like this is the one that can go 6 for 6. So this has got to be the best. So 252. So if he wins this match, it's another 15 points or something. That's all you can really get. That's 267. I mean, this one, if I can get two big ones out of here, this could be a number, considering the Von der Rosa is 5% owned. So we're going to need Mensick, really. And if we don't get Mensick, we definitely need, I mean, a big one out of Dardieri. This one is just not going to be good enough. But okay, maybe we move up the list a little bit. We'll see. Oh, this is a good one. Trevor. Oh, he's in good shape. Well, this guy's the nuts. Even with the 17. How about Idrap? What has he got? He's got Manarino by himself, and I have Thompson against him, so that's good. Does anybody have all wins? I doubt it. All right, we'll see. We'll see how this ends up. But okay, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Good luck, everybody, and I will see you next time.